Today na the 23rd day of November 2021. At the close of the year. And at this time, Parliament can sit down for discuss the budget. The Ministry of Finance can talk to ministries, departments, and agencies them inside September, October for make everybody can to them, can tell them waiting na their expectation, waiting they want for spend inside the next year. This one, we look now, inside 2022. They can get long session where every ministry they go explain waiting they feel say they need, way for make them function as the ministry where the country or the constitution give them right for functioners. They not go function so without finance. So now make finance, then they take upon themselves as the constitution give them, then listen to them people there with the help of different other institutions them, then they can come together, then make the bill, then can go parliament. Then the Minister of Finance, they present this bill to Parliament, decide the whole Parliament don't understand, then go ask some few questions, and then go get a common understanding before Parliament now can call in different ministry for can defend what to make them say na so and so money they need. The thing we finger them be the point per Parliament say Parliament corrupt. The one that will be the point finger saying na then tell me the corruption can happen na Parliament. Then give two instances. Say one where it can please the president for appoint person, then person get for go before Parliament for make Parliament approve them. Then say some brown envelope and some yuki business can take place. Then let me tell we say again for make them approve budget. Yuki and brown envelope and promises can take place there. So ACC, should we call your attention? Or then it be old talk. The one will be talk and self give out be don't apologize. So now him be say but you don't mean am. So I make you for even think say this particular one now for 2022, then go still they feel to say in Parliament they do that kind of yuki thing way honorable give out be mistake talk. But still, I go like for call me good friend them ACC for me them put them yes na the wall or na the ground. Either way, let them just put them yes. Sometimes one ministry go there now, we not go able defend why it needs so and so amount, then some kind of agreement go take place. But for now, we want to focus on the minister waiting in na table. When the different ministries then be they go now the different side where they set up, you building na be one place where they set up. We be count with we count with police, we count with fire force. Remember, we count with different people them. You remember where even the honorable being they talk about say make them chook finance, make finance give fire force after the fire incident na PMB. You remember? We say then fire force need vehicles, they need personnel and all those things. You hope say finance, where they say even for me then someone they want then they made them come in all these 9 yards. We see Parliament, then just on a side note. They don't call for the chief administrator na FCC, Freetown City Council. Then call him, then call the mayor, then call heads of departments, then call past and present officials them. We work na FCC with a name they inside. So some people they point say, wait now because if you are blind, they make that 29 minutes audio where he points finger by the mayor. and say waiting. The Auditor General cover up for the mayor, sort of, kind of. So from where palaver dey between the chief administrator and the mayor, Parliament will be see that one day. Anyway, let we wait and see what thing go come out per that invitation day. And this one we then say past and present. Officials them. It's a load for the Parliament. Right now then they work. Also, they kind of have with waiting. Even they work, they don't chook and give finance. So finance, they can't tell you all this trillion where they project. Where then come on and do, then look the cloud, then see say now this kind of money they want spend next year. Then we audit report come on. Finance back now then go call the same people and go na come. Na can like small pick it up and iron or waiting. Where that side they get to go cross them. The Appropriation Act 2022. The 2022 Fiscal Year Finance Act. Minister don't go lay am na Parliament. We safe they can't lay am na one pot. We all go eat. Yeah? You ready? Let we listen to Radio Democracy 98.1. How it be happen na Parliament.
Building resilience for inclusive green recovery.
The theme for the next year budget, building resilience for green recovery. Why you read the theme and say, okay, green. Now for meet up with climate change, or now we agriculture we want for boost. Because if me look at that way, I be hope say not to say na climate change you want plug them into. Say green recovery. Now we agriculture. Say where you go, you see vast land green. Yes, you name it. All they recover. But anyway, a salon budget. Would they build the resilience, the bubble pin? Would they embalm for bounce back? In case you know the same man do embalm, would they embalm yourself the resilience for bounce back, yeah?
Now the theme for the Appropriation Act 2022, when are the government budgets? Every year, the Ministry of Finance, the whole budget discussion with ministry, department and agency them for talk about the coming fiscal year and expenditure. For sake of this, the Ministry of Finance will end the 2022 budget discussion with MD them. We make them develop the budget envelope for 2022. For CC, government can mandate for spend the couple where they don't plan for spend inside the year 2022. And the Ministry of Finance, we don't develop the 2022 Finance Act, we get government expenditure, revenue generation, and other plan them for 2022. Friday, November 19 this year, the Minister of Finance, Dennis Vandi, not only the Appropriation Act 2022, but waiting at the money where government plan for spend inside the year 2022.
Total revenue and grants for the fiscal year 2022 is projected at 9.94 trillion leones.
Hollande, Mr. Minister, sir. Mr. Minister say the total revenue and grants. Revenue now waiting the government in the make. What government selling markets, waiting in the make, waiting kind inside. The grant, and the government is a big business, and the bigger business, waiting. Well, then sorry at people. You know, like who in the past that to the see bigger man, you look and ping no more, you get something. Well, waiting then sorry at people and waiting government don't see say maybe then sorry at people and don't promise we for say then go give we inside 2022 or then get for work one kind way we go make something kind inside revenue and grants for 2022. And the break you understand the revenue and the market to government is sell. You know, sabi government market you give position. The grant and the sabi talk with government they make to then so react people well, we can call them development partners. The thing they then they give you for free. That one day, then a grant for 2022. So where they don't sit down, they don't look all this thing and say, again for be 9.94 trillion leons. Take a deep breath first, ba. Exactly. Minister don't learn for we 9.94 trillion leons. That in a whole thing. But we go need breakdown. Mr. Minister, they allow begin for break and down now. Small, yeah?
This includes domestic revenue of 7.64 trillion.
So domestic revenue in country, inside salon, waiting the car inside to government. Where government selling market through taxation and all these other things them, waiting the car inside, waiting government they foresee. Say then go get that if na Wataki now, na the border now, na airport now, you name it. Now the one them now where they mine anyone where they don't look all thing. They say the domestic revenue get for come to 7.64 trillion leons. 7.64 trillion leons. How they generate for we safe. Nobody and no did inside the country. That's a good one. Somebody go on for say. Even me, once for saying a good one. For make we generate that kind of. Okay. So Mr. Minister, this 7.64 trillion leons, na how much percent of we GDP, sir?
15.1% of GDP and grants.
15.1% of we GDP. The grants now waiting?
2.3 trillion leons.
So the grants, what they expect for next year, now 2.3 trillion leons. 2.3 trillion leons. Hi. So that's organization them. Development partners them. Nigeria for thing 2.3 trillion leons. The one them we get for give you una thank you in advance, yeah? Una thank you in advance. Okay. So this budget for 2022, Mr. Minister, tell me something about Amba.
The budget for 2022 is fully financed with no financing gap.
Okay, I like that. So, no financial gap no get for day. Fully financed. Even though we know say the different ministries them, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Houston, some man are inside third quarter, now they receive in first quarter money. But the minister say, fully financed, no financing gap. Of course, outside we alone go raise 7.64 trillion leons. Hey, yeah. But Mr. Minister, we get loan them where we can pay not so. We get the principal or the paper, then money the work in trust so. Tell me something about Amba.
Principal loan repayments will amount to 740 billion leones in 2022.
Okay, so inside 2022, with principal loan repayments go come up to 740 billion. Now, that money that we don't go, so we don't eat there, we don't forget about self. So I be like your credit card, you can swipe down, eh? We know see every month you get for pay. You can ask yourself, say, how I use this money, ba? You don't forget. Because you don't know more saying at the minimum now you want pay. But anyway, we own for cover the principal so that we not go get bad credit and not go look with one kind of you not go find. All that money they get for come to 740 billion leons. Okay. So let's begin look by waiting the kind side for we. Mr. Minister, you can tell me about the income tax, sir?
Of the total projected domestic revenue, income taxes will contribute 2.71 trillion leones.
Okay. Income tax, the projection, where they look no more, then put their hand up, they look, then say income tax. Get for raise for we 2.71 trillion leons. 2.71 trillion leons. Inside the country now get for tax we save. Is somebody listening? Eh? Is they listen? This one now 2.71 trillion. Now would they look cool? But again, if we want to look for this year alone, from January to September 2021, the minister said the income tax we then collect now 1.84 trillion. 1.84 trillion. Then they don't collect no more. This time they tell people in the pahala, the tax too much, the tax not too much. But yeah, then they tell you say for next year, now 2.71 trillion. Then we hear the look at now. Okay? If you know say they pay tax, I beg ready for pay tax. Do ya? Mr. Minister, would I hear for income tax? What about goods and services, sir?
Goods and services taxes, GST, 1.46 trillion leones.
Okay. Goods and services, GST. Where you gonna shop, you get the amount where GST they kick in. So for next year, then they look say 1.46 trillion leons. Now then go get her. Because they tell we say from January to September, inside this year already, the goods and services tax we then don't get her. Now 936.7 billion. 936.7 billion. Now they don't get that already per goods and services. But for next year, then they look at 1.46 trillion leons. And they plan for Geda. If all goes well. Okay. Import duties. Mr. Minister, sir. But dear, the wataki, what in? Una the duty no more. What una they look at, sir?
Import duties, 950.1 billion leones.
So import duties for next year, then they look at 950.1 billion leons. Import duties. We they reading numbers, yeah? Just to take a deep breath, yeah? I don't know if na sigh of anguish or sigh of relief, but take a no more. big. 950.1 billion leons. The import duties na dandy we want forget. So, Mr. Minister, if we talk about import, what about excise duty, sir?
Excise duty on petroleum products, 706 billion leons.
So, on petroleum products, the excise duty, we dey look at 706 billion. 706 billion. Now they look at petroleum products. So I don't know if this forecast way they do so, this make what they make like for say, if now so the price they remain, or then be do something for say the price go up or the price they can down. But anyway, now 706 billion leons. Now we they look at. You can tell about mining, sir.
Mining revenues, 316 billion leons.
Hey, wait to. Mining revenues, 316 billion leons. Because then tell we say for this year alone, from January to September, they don't collect per the mining revenue 230.6 billion leons. So even the mining work in the Allah for, it out better. The income tax self pass far away. The excise duty on petroleum pass. Even the import duties pass them. The mining revenue they get. You go and say, oh, now due to bad policies them. Oh, we don't sign today. Now I make they take half money now. Now I make this one go tell yourself say, we don't better. You know how much be they get? Anyway, mining revenues. Would they look at 316 billion for next year? Okay. Mr. Minister, the royalty on fisheries, them fishing boats, them, the one that they chook with flag, the one that way they come inside, can't thief with fish. Anyway, how much will they look for get from them?
Royalty on fisheries, 142 billion leons.
So royalty on fisheries, will they look for get 142 billion leons next year? We fish them. Okay. The ship then carry salon flag. And the way they come, then fishing, then royalty, where then they pay. Okay, 142 billion. Now we they make forget from them. And we they suffer for the fish that's alone. Alright. Anyway, you cannot eat your bread and have it. You no go eat your cake and still say you get cake. We eat an oil and they left na yuan. Alright. If we want for look at the dividend area, Mr. Minister, I go up way under, sir.
Parastatals dividends, 125.4 billion leons.
The dividend within parastatals then they pay in a 125.4 billion leons. TSA, what would they expect from them, sir?
TSAs, 413.1 billion leons.
So would they expect 414.1 billion leons? With all it who they pay. Okay. Mr. Minister, waiting again.
Other government ministries, departments, and agencies, 144 billion leons.
So, all the other government ministry, them, the department, them, or the agency, them, or the where they can inside through them, now 144 billion. other government agencies, but when they go inside the one pot, now only 144 and then they generate. Only. Okay. And we'll check una all. Now una they make wage bill go up. But now only 144. Well, and say government a service they render. Not for make profits. Okay. We where they use the road. Petroleum. Listen, yeah. The excise duty on petroleum with a plan for get 706 billion from am. Yeah? Now the plan for get from am. But you know, say, we buy fuel. The road user. Then they take money there. Mr. Minister, tell you about that.
Road user charges 226 billion leones.
So, per we fuel no more they buy. Then they get 226 billion leones. 226 billion leones. If we add them to the excise duty on petroleum, we'll almost reach 1 trillion. We're 900 and something. Road user charge. Then charge the fuel. They make 950 point. They make 706 billion. Then the road user back. Well, yes, you get for pay road user. What if you say that they take make road? But they almost road we make first back. So then plan forget this 226 billion as road user charges. But how much then they spend back per the road? If they look explore with Tripoli, you see the road then have return. How much then they spend for make road? Or we for just focus on innovating at least, then they take the money. Now so you they see, huh? But for collect the money na one no. But for put the money outside the money for go back na the other one no. If road user charge go able generate 226 billion, then we get good roads them, that's fine. That's fine. But how much una collect last year? How much road una don't make? Parliament, where you see them kick out and tickly una pass. How much oversight the una don't do? If we dey pay for service, at least make we enjoy the service now. Oh, go dey pay for service when not there? Who they pay for service when not there? This now waiting them plan for take from we. Road user charges. And some of them what is here? If me go, I go buy gas for me generator. Not to the road that they go pass with her. Not to there they go pass with her. But guess what? You still going to pay the road user charge because then a day, then they pull them from the fuel. A day they pull her. And we all know say Sierra Leone, a lot of people they use generator past the light. Yeah. A lot of people so if you want to check how many percentage where you go buy gas, how many percentage they go alone to household them for light up. All right. Road user charge. Parliament. If una sidom, finance, and roads authority, and then all broad daylight and the ripwe like how then the ripwe. So una they collect money, but road una not they make. Because what una collect, government say for come, it top up, una make the road. How much road then they una they make? Amos, una go dig one road. E go dey take, go don collect wetin dey collect dirty water, bus tire, fuel, motoka, aksoba, and all anything dem dey before una ka locker. We sabi point them inside Freetown. My dear, the one and they tell like say the devil wey they no want the road for make. But una they collect. Road user charge 226 billion. Now we expect forget. Eh? Alright. I see last day I make a drink water first. Okay. Now listen, yeah?
As na over 9 trillion loans, government plan for spend inside the year 2022, whose area na government expenditure priority.
The expenditure priorities of government remain human capital development, economic.
The expenditure where government plan for spend, but it gets priority in life. You self as mortal man, you don't say you're supposed to forget priority, not to so. You get stages them where you paycheck cancel, where you look at how you tackle things them. So even government is say it gets priority. And in priority, na human capital development. We human capital development. Now this government in your priority. So inside this budget, how the government plan for make this human capital development get body inside this budget? Let we listen to the minister.
Economic diversification.
He say one. Na economic diversification. Economic diversification. Hey, I'll tell you, they ask me, so what's about the roads they're waiting at the provinces? Well, you know, say that we don't tell you say the major roads them. We na that's why you have to then they fund them. Next year ending, all go down. Not so. So they wait, and most of them major routes then at the provinces. We also get two big one them. When are the number 2 and the peninsula, number 2 peninsula, and also the hill bypass road. That from Albert Academy Mountain Court to Blackhall Road. Okay. Let we continue now. Yeah. We talk about the human capital development when a government in priority inside this budget in a way where they say they want diversify the economy. They want shape, they want make the economy touch every areas them we get for develop we na salon. Okay. So minister continue.
Including agriculture.
So the economic diversification, they look at agriculture. We don't did play with agriculture and salon. Previous present I don't know if future instead get for they play the same game with agriculture. But when you look bien, you look who's out map agriculture. I joke with a joke. Well, something in Vietnam and then go help we for unlock agriculture na Sierra Leone. But anyway, inside this budget, agriculture did we for lead to waiting, Mr. Minister.
And food security.
Okay, so the agriculture go lead to food security. When? Who states alone go say, bang! We feed we self we keep. Who stay? Now in food security. Where even in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 months, they catch it for nothing. And we produce. Over so they are both again. I can't how they give, so they trust business people them. We give them reduce loan. For me then go and come, cancel give. But anyway, agriculture will go lead to food security. Plan the inside this budget. You know, say that they and the priority for human capital development. Okay.
infrastructure development,
Infrastructure development. Una collect with 226 billion leos road user charges. The road with infrastructure. Alright. The one them waiting at the provinces now. Eh? Anyway, they say they inside this budget here. Waiting again, sir.
combating climate change,
Combat na fet. For fet with climate change. In the parliament that day when they talk, they no mistake talk self but waiting. But the timber business. But anyway, the minister say, then ready inside this budget, then get for combat, then get for go on blows with climate change. They want them. We go do hanky panky yuki. Eh? Hi. Okay. Let's continue, yeah?
and promoting good governance as articulated in the medium-term National Development Plan 2019 to
Promoting good governance. Promoting good governance. That's fine. It's inside the budget. We're not left that one DBN.
2023. The continued implementation of the programs and projects embedded in these sectors will support the resilient recovery of the economy in 2022. The composition and allocation of government expenditures for 2022 financial year reflect these priority areas.
Okay. So the priority areas we don't explain to we, he say, na they it reflect. Yeah? Human capital development.
The country wage bill budget for the year 2022 go up past how we be there inside 2021. But wetin are the reason for this?
The government wage bill for 2022 is projected at 3.9 trillion leones.
Olande. The government in wage bill, when they look no more, how much government get for pay will command them. Na the country. It say na 3.9 trillion leones. 3.9 trillion leones. So, how much percent of we GDP that one is, sir?
7.7% of GDP.
It says 7.7% of we GDP. 3.9 trillion leones. Okay. Wetin happen, sir? Wetin na be 2021 yon?
Compared to 3.75 trillion leones in 2021.
So you say when you compare 2021 this year, what they done so now, 3.75 trillion leones. But next year it'll go up. It'll go up by waiting 1.5 trillion. It'll go up by 1.5 trillion. Why? Mr. Minister, explain for we. 1.5 trillion next year. This na outside the money then they get for go.
The increase in the nominal wage bill reflects government's commitment to award a salary increase of 25% to all security forces over a 3-year period.
Remember, we be don't talk about this, not so. Where the government say, I think it was last year, where the government say, the security forces in the country, the money where they take home, is not correct. So they plan for expand them, then they give them raise, but then they expand them in 3 years' time. So, part of that money day for 2022, this increase did it. This increase did it. So if we already say another increase day in 2024, not surprised because what you know, say then they expand them. Not so. All right. Let they go. So one, now the increment we go come for the first system na the country.
Employees of tertiary educational institutions, including universities, polytechnics, government technical institutes, will also receive a further pay rise of 25%.
You remember back not so? Say 25% they go to the officers, then the security sector, then the tertiary side back, then they get 25%. You remember how them be the strike? You remember the promises them will be make? Okay. So this 1.5 trillion we don't add for this year alone. And say now for that reason and they. All right. Okay, then they clap now parliament. Hey.
The increase in the wage bill will also cover the recruitment of 1,200 teachers.
So this increase will see so the 1.5 trillion loans, the teachers then they add new recruitment. Teachers them, you get for go towards them.
1,000 health workers.
So health workers them, 1,000 you get for go to them back.
1,000 police officers.
Yeah, police officers. Anyway, 1,000 police officers, 1,000. You don't see the 1,000 them, eh? Police officers, 1,000. All right.
200 correctional officers.
Okay, the prison na 200 then they get. Police they get 1,000, prison get 200.
85 firefighters.
I'll still go serious for the fire department, ba. Police get 1,000, prison get 200, fire get 85. Eh? So for all the talk of fire force go talk. Now then they now go able for give 85 new recruits. Eh? We really serious for first responders them. Na saloon? Fire force? Are we ready for we emergency service in the area for fet fire na saloon? 85. Now they add the new. We not even make a 100. Not even 200. Not 300. Who side did they go? 85. Okay. Anyway, not forget, now 1.5 trillion. Now they all get for sheep. Then they all get for sheep, eh? All right.
As well as 500 academic and administrative staff.
So academic and administrative staff, 500. Fire department, 85. But all we see what happen at PMB, 85. All right. Now they go.
For tertiary educational institutions, especially the newly established universities.
With all of the wage bill will go up, waiting at the projected 2022 debt service interest payments.
Total interest payments are projected at 1.44 trillion.
The interest they pay, but the money they hold on to us, 1.44 trillion. On interest though. Eh? Remember say the principal loan now be 740 billion. The interest they pay per then loan then they now 1.44 trillion. Now with the project. All right. How they go, sir?
2.8% of GDP for 2022.
So 2.8% of our GDP now for pay the interest no more per the loan they hold on go take. Eh? All right.
Of this, interest payments on domestic debt will amount to 1.26 trillion, and interest on foreign debt 178.7 billion leones.
I've been talking to the leader for the National Grand Coalition Party, Honorable Dr. Kane Koleyum Kela, and the chairman for the Finance Committee in Parliament, Honourable Francis Amaraka Isamba, but wetin dem think about the budget, and then we get this for same.
A lot to reflect on. The one good news why I go say day na not new tax nothing.
So this na Honorable KKY na in the talk. He say beaucoup thing there for reflect on. But with wetin dem go lay na parliament where the minister go lay, you know see they add new tax. They not add no new tax. He say so then na one good thing. All right.
Of course, we still worry whether the government will able to manage the economy well because the expenditure is still high. Of course,
the expenditure still high. So we dey wondering if the government too then go able for manage this. You know, I will say the minister say no fully financed. He say no gap. They get this covered. Ayah.
The question is this really a bread and butter budget again? I think
the question way KKY they ask. He said with all waiting and go listen, with all waiting me and you able to understand why I try for break and down. Is it a bread and butter budget? Are you see him? You think say it help for address the bread and butter issue? All right.
Say good, it don't give me some hope. We all know say 2021 have a difficult year, but this one will give me hope because the monies that we don't allocate, we believe will be able to help for pushing the effect of the corona and difficulty we there in the country. And for ensure that the economy is stable and the living condition for the people is better off. That is what this budget will be meant to address. But it is envisaged, it's a proposal that hope good day so that we'll go for live a better life, given the circumstances we're in.
The Appropriation Act 2022, they now in Parliament, and member of Parliament them get for look inside and debate them before they turn out to law. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Princess Piasley reports.
We want to tell Princess Pias thank you and Radio Democracy when I through them, me and you able for listen. The big question is, with all waiting lay na table, is it a bread and butter budget? How it cushion the effect of the hardship within the country for the people of Sierra Leone? But one thing we note for say yes, no new tax no dey. So the same old, na ain't go diddy. Now go the face. Says KKY. What thing you gather from all this for 2022? Are you see him? But again, you know say now, most of the budgets where the ministry, department and agencies then can ask for, finance ne give they cut her. Then he cut a drastic one. Imagine by all that, 9.94 trillion leons. Now get for cost we next year. The revenue and the grants. Now then they get for play inside we budget. Okay. Let's call Too's friend first. Yeah. Welcome on board, Too's friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, AAA. Thanks for giving me the platform. And thanks to Princess Pias for able to give you this information through Radio Democracy. Throughout this week, now, not to throughout as I say, but like from the tail end of last week, the weekend, and up to now, we still look into more about this economy in the country. But as they don't give this budget, they don't highlight many things and projecting at this, then they get, and at this, they don't get. On a this they expect forget. And then they try for bring Finance Act. But the Finance Act, from waiting at land for SLA just get aside. Then they try for say they want to find a way for control fiscal indiscipline. But I don't know whose robustness can get for bring them. But part of the other area of the fiscal, the Finance Act, then they try for see how then would they able for recover certain money then. how some they then go able for pay them. But here we specify today as they talk about the wage bill. And now waiting and they give people waiting you now employer we they give you people for compensate them for what they don't do, for the good work they don't do. Or are you able for manage their own life for let them go able for go live their own normal way. But would they see say most times the projection of the what would they get at the country, now Inky always try for reflect waiting with the payout, waiting with the do, or whose development will get for put and pa, or whose side will get for cut down. But people can say back, there is an area where people don't project more. In other words, we own citizens then guess I would say they don't want to turn blind eye. The area would they don't want to turn a blind eye on this budget. Now the area wouldn't they say, well, the government they increase the wage bill. What about them who they don't go increase areas them who they don't duplicate certain ministries, they don't extend them. But again, on the other hand, you will say that effectiveness that now we say normal life day. We say triangulation and hardship no dey una get what una dey give, una dey get like how they talk say una dey eat stay, una dey left revenue sufficiency of food, security, wetin dey una go say this at the bank. But in the final then projection here always can get like a S-curve shape when that difficult stage. That area where they talking there regarding that learning curve. And at that point, the most times you realize that S-curve area will say you see increase the day and decrease. In other words, you talk say I want cut here, I want add here. I want add here, I want cut here. But this is the principle most times we they can deal with in terms of budgeting, because even when they come to the wage bill, a simple method and just they can look, okay, now you total credit column. That credit column now, waiting they don't get, then waiting they get for pay. They can look that column they back, and then they subtract. But whenever they find out, say, waiting they get as a credit column, what they expect for Kami, if Boku pass, waiting they owe for pay. Then can they make a balance? Not that when they subtract waiting they get for pay towards that big money when at the revenue, waiting the left now equal to wages that if then they pay. So that side in this time they can just they do for say do realize there are wages where it be seen people them where we pay them from hour. And then we get one day would pay when a salary. But we not talk about the salary side. We talk about the wages side. So you see, the budget, if you look there might be somewhere, but there's nothing to do with waiting with the pay the people who they work now them places them, who say them money they had to go. Then just they try for say, una can't tell me what you want, we say for project, we see from areas the una will taxes them because none of the head. Like the letter, head of the letter, and that is the head. They what you get. So they begin to kind of know what you don't get, so on. Because they can't get what they spend first before they get, then will understand the way they will go about it. So they make it simple in some way, but the point is here that when you talk of what they get and you try to say and then waiting are all. You're not able for work and then the one them where they get the salary where we say them, then they even get what they call a tip. You see, then they give them a tip, and they give them even sometimes extra leave allowance. They come to up to traveling allowance. But the question is, I'm not know how them type of budgets they come to the public. But because it's a fiscal budget, would they say, well, would they look into the laws that we did? Then just they tell we them waiting, then they do for we. You see? So that the one, then they try for show we. Say the grant, who they get, now for una. The income who they get from taxes, now for una. But when would they put the wages and the salary? Because the other one, they not contract. Like somebody will come as a Ministry of Health, then we pull up in area where they day on a good work. So you can for attract them with a wage. You can forget a contract. So then that one they want a salary. They're not talk about in this type of budget. In the they pay a fixed wage arrangement. So you not pay me, I really work for you. But when they employ that man there now, You just look at a minimum wage. Where they say that age they are going to look at minimum. And I did mathematics and then the kind side. Log portia, log we add the under, log we subtract, so that we'll be able to forget what you will give. But all this, it come to human, the human, the human style of interpretation of waiting you don't learn. And but when you see say that area of waiting you don't learn and waiting supposed to be in reality, now day you get for avoid that curve day where you go say, well, I not take waiting at the G and I reduce them and then I get what I try to see what I get. In what way? In terms of the tax. I will raise more tax, I will do this, and when I'm when they come, now for we get fixed salary. But when at the time for I go to the wages and we demanding people who don't get they reward them for what they don't do, for their service what they don't do, for the employment we do them. And then you will begin to see the areas they flop. But it can come about from many reasons because we can get problem of what would they get we export commodities, what in the export commodities then now that they can bring for we now what we get forget in the country, then or what would they sell out, or even what would they make inside the country for sale among ourselves. But from now they will say, well, they buy they sell rest, I will pull out a farm for can sell them. I did pull in the original farmer they can't sell them. So that money that will take them. Sometimes we'll go make head. Then we'll go begin the order, like I been talk about some business, then who they say, well, then they go order certain products where they want like mayonnaise, where they want for let the price go fall because of competition. But if they finance the competition, they under people and they find a way for letting them go able for live within their own domestic trade, for letting them go able for there. But if they get many reasons, and you can get droughts, you can get people deforestation, they under people are not going able for get plying of roots, you get the wetland, they then get problem. Now they talk about green recovery. The green recovery now that area they don't damage so all in terms of the wetland, deforestation, many other things they want to develop diversity roads where they go able to let the place go green. Because green gas is different. Because when they talk about making green, no, now stopping green. So obviously not to the climate and the water. Even though they are dealing with it in a different way, making it green, the land, sometimes will help with the climate, but not to that climate seed and the try to see that this now big. But again, indirectly, now about the climate, so if they go make that place there, well, we do something for works down and calm down the climate issue. Also mitigate not come for will cause problem. So, but in the final, but couldn't load them when they get that pressure. And the pressure, then they find the solution, then they bring them, then they put most times areas when they talk about principal loan payments, when they get for pay, and those are the loans they more they can say, well, something are soft loan and something are hard loan or long term, in whatever way you call them. So if they see which one would they pay, and which one would I get for what take. When I get for trying for the arrange, if you get as a loan or soft loan, or I will pay for longer time, or we want pay a short time, or we want look the loan you get, if they get a dividend for let una go able cover the gap una they don't go can cover now gap for produce for loan go get the workers in good day, or now loan where they can just add up a number of workers, but una not go able for pay them. Because now we can't see when we go make road, or one go begin to do this, or one for add up the number of the nurses them. But the nurses them, you will find out see sometimes the training of them, a majority of them, when I go they help they for let say we pay for them this, we pay for them this, or open university. So then they go fix some time now, not to continuous, now like terminal help. Then you go look now agriculture. So agriculture always now we the attacker. You get for no say now seasonal something, now something with nature. So when you the budget today, they go deal with them, you get to be very careful because you go spend up like how they been do the first phase of this youth that I've been saying yesterday. You know, don't go force, you know, don't go rush to the infrastructure, we don't go do them, we don't go loan that money there, or we don't get them through EU back. I mean any form now. We don't get in grants and they want to see again. When I don't go put on the dividend for them, when I don't get a raise, when they supply the teachers, or when they supply the policemen, or when they supply the other one, they can give monthly bag rates. So that when you go pull now for go buy it go na other side. But you're not able to reach that side. So you find out say still you don't go make a play game of getting money we don't come for let una can expand. Go when they talk about paying those loans. You see, they pay the loan, they don't go take. Or some of them are in the form of grants, okay? But in any way, because even the grants, you get for find the way they go multiply for cover any other gap. But it all comes down to the domestic level of policy the work can get, where sometimes they can affect me where say where there is a quick turnover, and I do for open the cap, and I do for level up, and I do for CC things in the go well. We see that GST. How long one day within goods and services, we see other areas and we say and for say, well, just leverage. We see business and what they create. So this as a kind inside, they will begin to do better thing. Or inside ourselves, we will do something where this business will put handy, it will begin to sell. Not to say no more like the people and a lot just say they can get a method when it don't change now, where in certain business can come up. Like I say, like 1 year, with them lollipop, they can come on and call their name. People then begin to go buy them come, but it comes to a point where they diminish because people like test, nobody go continue except something where it be say it become addictive. So when you get to start a business with an addictive one, not in the negative way, but you know say people and they go for them and demand the day, now they get for the put your business. Not to think no more as since you no more car, you don't go buy them. Sometimes you go buy the last market now you can't get the capital. You don't get it, you don't can sell. Then you the time when you don't go get the money for go buy that market now give it, say you bring your brother, you consume, they send that money, the way you go buy another time. That my first guy don't come buy and then the people that don't get that diminish, don't get this. So the right gap then the government get for avoid when they do business, where would they go take something? No, we put them. The area will be the agriculture, like then the last place I decided to talk about, then just for look into those places, then they revamp them back because people they know about agriculture. So all those ideas you get for implement them when you budget. So when government they budget things, then get for know how then they budget things. Who side they will put money for come. We not say the waste bill as I did for talk about again. Now something very important because we need more teachers, we need more this. But you get for equate them. So that you get for know who side other money for don't go like can bring and last time I know say wage bill is a continuous thing like every month. So that we able for pay them people like their salary, would them so that they not go on strike, so that the human resource capacity go work. Or even the one where they go encourage for go do farm, I would they give them encouragement because they distract them from something else and they eat them time so that they think they're able to go before. But when you leave all these small issues, you find out what's in the economy get forget now. That structure where you before don't get the problem, I think it begin to come. You begin to see me GDP, meet up with what are the D out for let maybe people and go live well. Then you go back again, you begin to bring other structures in. But you always find when you come, you start up with that. Because I dare you as an opposition for don't they look. So that when you stand out for can say I don't can sit down, or anybody says in terms of politics, don't forget about people in the opposition or this. Anyone who is say I want to involve in politics for like I want to help them people there, and then think that you get for look. So you pick your team that you can't be doing. But once you look say now waiting at the secure for like I go get, now not say at the project for like I go do. When I was waiting, we the government they actually get they see say now in this, not to in the people in the sea. But when they come and give them figures, now figures them will go make up something where it will go with waiting they don't see na their own side. So the other one they always confuse people them. That transparency. Now then they say, oh well, we look into ACC, or now we look into them and then do these things here. But there is always something going wrong somewhere. Now in the cause the continuity of that area where they always say this month they not pay or this thing don't go up because they project them towards that aim day. You always project them as something where they try to gain more reward. And the reward is that a reward of security that will say I become rewarded, I'm secured with the job, I will lose them. So, but when you get the reward, where you be saying thanks, and people in the time again and say, yes, we don't do this, that's the reward we therefore go for. When they go for the reward, when they put about the sinner for la no go komoya, if in case akomoya, there should not be in case akomoya, Allah keep this, or in case I want komoya. Like this I will protect. So these are all the principles that will cause delayance, all in terms of agreements, Let we look into we own development. Let we get people who will look into how they will able to help. Let them avoid the area where certain will say all the time differences in in wages, the difference in salaries. Let we try get an economy we will develop. Waiting will they make? Waiting will they sell? We look into policies of taxes and look whether them will they try for involve for them. We will see will they develop them in terms of human capacity and the laws what they put for let people in kind side for kind land, the education will be able to enable them. Thank you very much for giving the platform. Let God continue to help the country and our leaders. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah.
The wage bill, mean a two thing for me, two. Until the government get their own priority area, when I'm your priority area. One, the wage bill, 1.5 trillion Leone to go up by, but all who side and say then they increase. Fire force. Now let me get issue with. When are only 85 people them they ready for hire. 85 people. Now they ready for hire na fire force. All the other would get 500, would get 1,000, would get 200. But fire force na 85. That's a one for me. Two, na the road user charges. What would they pay to government for how they use the road? And the deplorable condition where the road stand there. I don't say just now what they talk, I just focus on say free tongue. But even they want them within at the provinces. They say then they buy fuel, then they buy gas. Then they buy So why the young portion not for make the road outside and they? But then nobody asks if the diaspora not get any share. And for why, I don't know. It's in this conversation. What would they talk about? Is it bi-weekly? I remember the previous administration, we don't host somebody now. I don't forget who that we do. Where we even ask them if it's possible for make them they pay bi-weekly na Sierra Leone every 2 weeks. Let me say then they look into that. But the thing we anyway. If something don't dey forever, no mean say it correct. Most of the one them working day na the government yon side. Na oversee them come to. Na diaspora them come like we. So this one way I see the conversation for pay the people bi-weekly rather than monthly. I make salon na magician then na den did it. Because you know say it's so difficult for wait till month done. Even some of we then they pay by months. Trust me. It not easy. I dey tell you for free. It not easy. Me, I be used to bi-weekly. Now paying by month. Man, it takes the grace of God for survive. Till the month done, you get that other paycheck back. Yes, call ID live on here. Your name and inside the coffin, please.
Well, it look like today I'm hungry.
I'll show you look like. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Well, the problem here is, I said this, I think like yesterday, Marabio not serious. Marabio not serious at all. This wage bill with this guy, they go and lie per say 1,000 nurses, 1,000 police. How many times we don't hear it nurses and they talk to they need to pay them? Right now, we get narcovac people where they inject people. Last week, people in Sudan wait for Canada abroad. They're not going to get the test done because the one that would work strike. And we are recently narcovac spent about $30 million. One time I did watch AYV, within the interview Jamiro, even at the station. All that money there. But people and the workers and the complaints say they're on the 7 months. They're not getting the money. So watching at this rubbish with them people that they can't talk. Because this morning back I listen to AYV, the financial we don't call, now the Minister of Finance, now the same rubbish. The teachers and the nurses now they use as a blanket. Then guy are not serious. Marabia they act like a bomb. Then guy how many of the police that we then get? How many police we then get for pay? We raise that wage bill lay up. How many police? How many nurses them? Wait, nurses them. Okay. How many times would they everyone nurses that they strike now cannot say they need to pay them? So not today the money they go. Dr. Dennis Wright been talking today. We all listen to her. Then 1,000 nurses a day. Let's say they pay them every month. The money all put together, it not reach 1 or 2 of the kahul them will be higher. We put in another big position and we it not be need. We get Ministry of Youth, we get Youth Service, we get Ministry of Social Welfare, we get Ministry of Youth and this. We get Ministry of Social Welfare, we get Ministry of Welfare and this. We get now Nabila Tunis, where you don't rubbish himself all the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because of a man na he put na ECOWAS with them call, then grab them get another ministry. And in order for them they want green, they go for hire other people, they go for get permanent secretary, and all then they go to make $5,000-6,000 a month. So which one this way they just the government be? How many of the police and nurses will they hire? So that just tell you now the people now the same people in the wire we can't tell we say and as by Kroma in hire the people where they clean in backyard. Well, in don't hire the one where they waka out in small picking in dog rain. Now that the money don't go. Listen, if you not a credit card carrier, you know how to follow. The reason why they make you interest go up, one, either you get you make late payment or you get bad credit. So when they first forgive the credit, they give you with a high interest. Because if the money what would they pay, now 700 billion leones, but yet the interest alone, now 1 trillion.
1.44 trillion on interest.
Okay, what did that tell you? Me just I've been doing. I've been get a credit card with Citi. Me minimum payment now 300. But I figure say 170 of that money it will go straight to interest because of my credit. So I got for fair way for pay them off. Because if that's not the case, then whatever not the balance will be getting, I'm not going to ever done for pay. So we're not going to ever done for pay. Because then go say that the money they wear this by Chromatros. Well, what about the one who don't can't take? Because then go for take back next year. Then go for take back. So we great when team me on picking the no day, but the one that we picking them born as alone, then great grand picking and go for the pay them money. They go for the pay them money. Then guys they're not serious. They're not say anything. Look the crazy thing. I mean the entire force, fire force now a force. Now part of the forces that are the country. We all see developing country how they not play. State of California, they get plane the way they hot fire because we fire now we name. We get B2 bombarded when I plane the way they hot fire. Yeah, they not play with fire business. Now you need to go higher. Maybe now the 80 people will be don't die. Now then they want replace back. So this is a complete wake-up call to all the one that waking, because today back, as seen as some social media, they say fire this on side. The one where they video the thing, still the open more they talk say, 10 now fire force not can it. 10 now fire force not can it. I think they need for gear this video or this audio. Listen. Why not they blame fire force? I mean, you got to be right-minded for blame them guy. Look the constraint where they get. Now they don't tell you, say, then they hire 1,000 nurses, then they hire 1,000 police, then they hire 200. Then guy that will sit down that they watching other people them. Only they sit down, they give them free rest. Prison. Even then they give them 200. But can you believe the fire department just only 80? And they not even talk about engine, no. They just say we hire 80 people then. They not talk about fire engine. They not talk about extending, hoping more fire station. Whereby right, each of them city are becoming not called the city. If of them little junkyard forget one fire station, Kisi forget, Wellington forget, Calverton forget. Get one at Klein Town, get one by Ferry Junction. Because that's what they get in there. They not get them. Then when something happens, somebody will always the kind of this medium, they bash the fire department. Why? We need to see the people how they behave. They're not care. The term, even during Anders by Cromite, one time I've been listening to audio, a video, when them they interview the fire guy that will be there on that pass out. The guy that they complain said that they treat them way below how they treat the police. They say from where they put them, they don't train them, they don't exercise, they don't do everything. They need to get paid. This not during Anders by Cromite time. They not just care about this, but them people, yeah. But yet, when house born, somebody got to up in hoping months. Hey, 10 hours with the wait. Now the 5 hours, this fire first not can well. Use your pits, let you hot the fire. Because the one that was supposed to take care of them, they need to do their job. It's sad, man. Thank you very much. Not to that one of the departments where they not for play with. Fire department. The people are not joke. It don't become a joke. It don't become it become like a scrub. Man, sorry, man. I don't use word. Bye.
All right, thank you very much, man. I see James. James say, the country fire department not even get enough truck, so they don't need much workers until they buy the fire truck. Yes, but who they buy the fire truck? Who they buy them? Because if we want to take an away, when I make them not go hire more people. Because now they're supposed to buy the fire truck, not to on a donation who they wait for. Who they buy fire truck? So if they put system in place, if this budget we don't address it, they get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fire truck. But if we say, oh, because fire truck no day, so we know they hire more people. So now we still want they make the fire department no go no side. When we been deal with Anaya, when they go lay them budget, they ask for fire engine, they ask for people, they ask for manpower, they ask for other things them. But waiting and give them only 85. Now we are you don't know if other inside there now then talk about fire engine, but I feel say anyway. Yes, call ID live on air, your name and inside the call from please.
It's Ezekiel, I call from Oregon.
3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't start a little bit louder, but I'll go try for make them quick. I think the whole thing is when we they go through a year of constraints, like waiting the world they go around. I know another see the big man and make any sacrifice. We get for make drastic changes into how even we they pay them people na government. Until we make those change, we make those changes, people then go continue for hunger for work for government. Hunger for work for government, not to for just go help people, but now for waiting, then they go get out of there. In the first place, I will want to see a president will go Canada country there and talk say no vehicle for parliamentarians. Why would they do that? Why? Each vehicle they go with a driver, they go with a security, they go with maintenance, they go with gas. Why are we doing it? Why? Somebody tell me why would they do it? Why? Seriously, why? We're not supposed to get vehicles there for them people here. Everybody way they go under now, you for don't be able to take care of yourself and things the way you they do. You know, some man get 2-3 vehicle where they rent them. Then it they sabotage the country you own vehicle. Where then they want go inside, then the rougher because then the maintenance then they give them money for maintenance every time. It's a waste of resources. Waste of resources. We don't need for give parliamentarians vehicles. None. We don't need that. In fact, if they want public transportation, if you know, then let them use public transportation for good work. Let them go to a specific junction, the bus they pick them up, then go na parliament. If they don't want to use their own private vehicles. You know, who's contribute way then they make? Like which sacrifice way then they make for the country? What is it? Whose side the sacrifice there? None. You know, look the neck guy. Some I've been the reader the increment way they don't make for pay. For waiting. They go pay that man they so much money according to the country level. For waiting. You know, obviously we know why. For lady can't pass a verdict for something we know everybody knows in a lie in favor of the ruling government. Somebody for take drastic measure and cut down some waste what they make in that country in terms of government officials. This is the reason why all my one go now pot of gold. Thank you so much. They are not making any sacrifice for us. Sacrifice for the people and whose kind of money we, you know, all this fire truck who they talk about. The president, if he sacrifice you're traveling, you know, one great travel probably will give you a used fire truck, 2 or 3, you know. Sacrifice and do some things and way you know say it deeper destroy our country. Lord, we help with people and show love for this country, and then things will go before. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. All right. I think Ezekiel will be your last caller. But in the area of this, let me tell you, mean 2 things them. That road user charge, what then the charge we and the road them across the country no make sense. Even they collect money from we, or they buy fuel and then on another put them all na profit for the government. Then the fire department. If we want to talk about fire hydrant, how much we get across the country? The one they will get sometimes from the tell them fence alone. What then they? Take tomorrow, na in so no more. So what will they do for emergency? After waiting happen at PNB, after then hosting the bon so then this year, whose contingency plan will get? What till we get? None. Because if we hire 1,000 police, we hire 200 prison officers. Then we count to fire force 85. Not even 100, 85. Paul, waiting happen at PNB expose the system. The fire waking happen, we see. We still will be serious for emergency. 1.5 trillion now add per the budget as compared to 2021 new budget. And then say that addition then for all them different tier, then new hire them, then 25%, or then say then go increase and all those things. So Fire Force Safe, don't forget a bite. Are they not important? Anyway, we hope see Parliament go step up and do something for Fire Force. Now them be talker. First of all, let me say then they summon then different Fire Force. Or again, let me say police. For go explain but that in a PNB. And I didn't tell we say they want link with finance for make finance go take Fire Force business serious. But even now, where then they call, where the minister they call the number of people where then they hire. Na table no more like praises. Na them be the gi. Nobody no can say, you know what, but we don't talk about Fire Force now. 85 for Fire Force no more. Anything they again for Fire Force? On our way something be the lives them, we don't bear down. We don't bear down, so waiting. The one day we go, na the loss. We don't bear down, so we move. Now so it for be. Not even afraid. Say all who say we get big like that Wellington industrial area there. What if? What's I agree with it? Massive fire explosion happen. Can we fight that? Yes, call ID live on here. Even though we don't close the line, your name and who say the call from, please.
Okay. They call from China, MOB.
Yes, MOB. Get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. May the network be disturb me. And AAA, when you listen self to the theme of the budget, you go say this one, you know, one brand come to politics, but it is highly politicized. To be frank enough, the theme self alone, don't show you say, I don't know why Sarah Leone, everything that they link up with politics, you go put green, okay, resilience is okay, but you go put green. That one day, come out me, it is politicized. Or they no go tell me anything concerning that. Also, if I look at the government, always we know always they delay for release funds. But all this boku money, this 9 trillion point something, it is don't talk and done. But let me tell you, they always delay for release funds to MDAs, councils, and the rest. That one day, but already they say they go do it in the robust way. But let me tell you, you will find out say first quarter money, you not take 10 now, inside third quarter, they give them. How you will get that resilience the way you preach? And I tell you, I be not working at council. When they devolve funds to some of them government agencies that will dissolve in a council, like the agriculture, education, junior, and waterworks, you the final say they get problem with implementation, the delayance of funds. Government need to release funds to the local council for let it give to these ministries. And the final say like agriculture where they talk in a priority. Now season and get up. If you don't release funds to the term, because we depend on rain-fed agriculture. You don't release that fund where the agriculture therefore try for prepare the land, the seeds, stay they don't plant. Then you go release funds at the end when are almost harvest time. Then that agriculture go buy that seeds, can I go to farmer? You fit say farmer go plant her. Now it will eat them. They don't plant her. So all this when we talk now just when they say a policy, no go do one, but we no go follow her. We need to do something with sincerity, honestly. If we do it with sincerity and purpose, you don't go hold on to funds where you go say this now it gets the country in bread and butter. Where did they preach? The issue of good governance. Now other thing one day where they exist in Sierra Leone. They preach about good governance, but I don't see nothing like that they exist. When you find out most of the government ministries, they live on party lines. Anything they say, the president say, their president agenda, the president this. But you not get your agenda and your ministry. One thing for nobody know the way they deny the president, where the president go wrong. It's like the forces. For say they come out and deny the presidency. No, we can't do this. We take an oath for protect life and property. They just say we follow the president. One adage was when they get, we support government of the day. Nobody really says not support government of the day, but the government go wrong and say for go do this. Say no, Mr. President or Mr. Minister, this is not what we take an oath for. Deny the man. Let him know say yes, you are there to serve the people. But really, we don't know country. We say, well, let's say I wanted to go talk. I am not talking no more, but we go see. They don't think. The issue whether they talk say yes, they try for come back, they try for look into this issue of agriculture, infrastructure, combating climate change. Brother, agriculture now a daydream. When they say a daydream, you don't need your dream say yes, gentry, but we grab one block you not get. Agriculture, we don't invest for a lot. Salona for begin again for about to any country. But one day, may not see a forthcoming because they need to do what is right. If they do what is right, we get Sierra Leone Agricultural Institute, SLARI, for God's sake. Government just forget about SLARI, they need to think of SLARI. SLARI went in for all the hub of agriculture that country did. SLARI are the institutional way for you to prepare valuable seeds that country, breed seeds, send them to the extension agent for distribute to the farmers there. But government need to even consider SLARI. SLARI they die easily. Now a natural death SLARI they get through. When they consider when one Palestinian any research station in all the country of in agriculture. In China here, they don't joke with research. They don't joke with research. Everything what they want to do, they're going to research. They don't want to produce seeds, they're going to research. And in Sierra Leone, we still get all season. We're not viable again. They don't, when you plant, you're not going to produce again that bumper harvest we want. All the new rice what season we both for when Nerica. And Nerica now, you get a lot of empty shells. They need for work into it again. Let them know what are the cause of an empty, what are the cause the empty shells. I work with JICA on the SRPP project. Now we find out. We try for look into that. We try for use if now the basal application of fertilizer or the top dressing of fertilizer na in the problem. We try for do these two comparative analysis, but we find out say that one they still not the same thing. So something has to be done. This can be done through the research institution, but government not even consider research institution. Look, they go up in Tomabom. So you go up in Tomabom, you need to consider the research station where need for know what are the soil in content, for know which plants they do well in that soil. You go open that. You find out say you go to combat agriculture. You can't. We're not going to get food security in that country today if we don't consider the research station and come up with the right thing. When they look at infrastructure, you don't tell what to do infrastructural development here. But the father say even this petroleum where people go buy petrol and pay for the roads, their money they go to SLRA for let them develop roads. Not to Freetown or the big town they don't use petrol. The villages are using petrol as well. But your father said those roads will lead to them village, then district headquarters towns. They are in deplorable condition. But SLRA didn't consider that. Their money they all and the father and they tell you say this budget on the road issue. 1/3 of that money they now private pockets to get for good. Parliament where they see so when they say accountability committee, where did they go for go audit this MDA? If you see the package, they pack for them. If you not pack for them, they stand you down. I know they also they go do audit in a council. If you see what happened there, it's terrible. Thank you very much.
Okay. I go tell ACC, then go can ask you what you been see. Because them be they look for policy we see, but they not been get. We don't lost MOB. Right? Because ACC be say policy we see, but we don't lost MOB. I think the network. But MOB they try from China for the join we. Now we go done everything today. We are hopeful. Me, Triple, me are hopeful say Parliament go do the needful. Because now them we don't talk and say then call the different institution them for cancer and make we take firefighting serious in the country. I hope say we go a reward from them. For say the MBC 85, they not to talk about fire truck and the hydrant and all the logistics them would they need for fight the fire. Even for get contingency plan for like Mabela, fire truck no they go down the up the hill, fire truck no they go the how then the maneuver, waiting at the next plan we then get. But if you say no, oh they not get fire engine, so why they need people them? Well, and so go they go no more. We go there back tomorrow. Today on, now we go left everything. We love we salon, we like we salon. We do this for salon. Till we meet again tomorrow. Triple say, tata.